Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we've got something to talk about. Oh boy. A few weeks ago, I made a video addressing some issues in the community right now and also reading some employee reviews on Star Stable as a company, and that kind of brought a whole movement with it. And it was such a large movement that Star Stable actually decided to respond in an article, and in this video, we are going to read the article, and in the article, we get an explanation for most of the things that Star Stable's doing right now, and I have some points to make, some positive, some negative. It's all going to be constructive criticism. This is no place for hate here, so no worries, but we're going to go through it. So yeah, if you're interested in this article and kind of keeping up to date with what's going on in the community right now, make sure you keep on watching, and then now, without any further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So here we are on the website, and before we get into the article, I do want to show you where it is because I have a huge issue with this article basically being hidden on the website and Star Stable making no note about it on any social media type. Not Facebook, not Instagram, nowhere. So that's my first issue with this. Basically, in order to get to the article, you have to click on help right over there. You'll go to this tab over here, and then down here you see promoted articles, questions from our community, and this is where everything is happening. Now, before we get into it, I do want to elaborate a little bit on the first point that I made, which was that this article is pretty much hidden. I haven't really seen anyone talk about this in the community except for Denise Weistorm or Dennis Weistorm. I'm not sure what he prefers. And the thing is, if you don't know that this article is there, you just won't find it. And that's my problem with this. People are not going to see this if they don't know that it's there. That also kind of makes this article pointless because if you're not going to put it out there and really promote it to your community, there's no point in responding, really. But then again, from a business perspective, I also understand why they don't want to put this on their Instagram and Facebook because those are their most followed platforms, and that would mean that people who are not aware of what's going on right now would also see this. But anyway, we are going to get into it, and the first question is, what projects does Star Stable have besides the game? Pretty much everything we do is related to the game in one way or another, but it isn't always visible to the outside. Behind the scenes, we are working on all sorts of things besides game design, maintaining and updating the technology which runs the game, which is a huge issue right now, I'll get into it, finding and training new employees, supporting and building our community, updating our development tools, maintaining or improving existing features, and eliminating critical bugs in the game. Beyond that, we are always trying to find creative ways to further explore the character of Star Stable Online, and so far we have done this through books, comics, short stories, animations, and music. We have invested in new teams to work on these exciting new areas for us so it doesn't take away any time or resources from game development. Our aim with this content is to bring SSO characters to life across many platforms and enhance the experience of our player community. Now, first off, let's talk about the fact that they're updating the technology which runs the game. I'm very happy about this personally because I've seen so many people on Facebook, on Instagram, having issues with their SSO lagging and glitching and just shutting down all of a sudden because Star Stable right now runs on very old technology and newer PCs and computers and laptops are having issues running it. So I'm very happy they're updating this. However, I do have to say I kind of am having a hard time trusting Star Stable, so we'll have to see if this actually comes through, if we'll see a change. I really hope we will though, because this would improve our gaming experience so much in general for so many people. Now let's talk about the rest. The fact that they're making all these comics and short stories and music and animations, I really enjoy that content. I really do. And they're stating over here that those projects shouldn't take away any time or resources from game development, but at the same time it seems like it does. So honestly, for me personally, I would much rather have SSO focus on game development and less on the music and the short stories and the comics. Even though those are nice extras, I feel like we should only get them when the game itself is as good as it used to be or even better. Now, I do believe they have separate teams working on this, but I think the main issue is what they're investing into these two different teams, and that's just my personal opinion. We don't get any clarification on this. They're just saying we have separate teams, accept it. So yeah, I can't really make a judgment because we don't have the information, but at the same time, that's what personally, to me, it seems like. Now, just to clarify, I've never worked in the gaming industry, so I don't really know much about this, but at the same time, I do know much about management and just owning a company in general because my dad has a company and I've learned so much from him. So basically, this is my opinion based on what I've learned from my dad and other people who have a company. Now, next question. How does Star Stable balance horse releases with other content? content. We love horses, and we are proud to be the best of the few horse adventure games out there. We know that our community loves horses too, and we get so happy when we see our players get excited about our monthly horse release and even favorites out of our 42 horse breeds and magical horses. But we know that the magic of Star Stable isn't just about getting to know a wide range of great horses. Jorvik is a big island with a long story full of magic and fun things to do, along with your other friends in the game. We are always working to give you new areas to explore, such as when we released Starshine Ranch, the western area, in April of 2020. More recently, you got to see another brand new area, Wildwoods. But we know you may still have questions about what we are working on, so we will be regularly sharing more details from our roadmap to give you a sneak peek. And they actually have done that. I posted their picture on my community page last Wednesday. I'll put it up on the screen right now. This is their plan for the upcoming month. I'm very excited to see the new Arabians. They look really good in the spoiler videos. I'm super excited for more main story quests because we haven't had those in over 2 years, and I'm so excited. I'm so happy it's finally coming. Now, the only two things I really have to say about this paragraph is, let's start with the positive, the fact that they're sharing roadmaps of their upcoming updates. I'm very happy about that. It's very clear communication. We can get excited for at least 1 or 2 of the upcoming updates, and I think it's a good thing. Now, my negative point over here is basically what this comes off as is, oh, we released Starshine Ranch in April of 2020, you got Wildwoods, so we think that monthly horse releases is justified, which I personally disagree with. Starshine Ranch was beautiful, Wildwoods was beautiful, but we aren't really asking for new areas, we are asking for more things to do in the game. And not just reputation grinding, like actually something to do. Something I've also noticed whenever they release a quest line, there's rarely ever a day blocker in there, which already, pushes people to play through the entire quest in 1 day, which means for the rest of that week, you won't have anything left. So maybe putting in more time blockers when releasing quests, all that kind of stuff to make the updates more worthwhile could be something that could be very much appreciated in the community. Now, I also need to say I don't absolutely hate reputation grinding. I just think it's annoying when it takes over 2-3 months to complete a reputation quest. I just don't enjoy that very much, especially when it's a new reputation grinding release. I think it should take max 2 weeks to complete the entire reputation quest, so we actually have something to do, but also it doesn't get that boring and it doesn't get that repetitive, and it's very quick to finish. But I also do understand that if they were to change to this kind of a reputation grinding update, the reward wouldn't be as impressive as an owl or an entire horse, which personally I don't mind, but I can see why other people would mind, But then again, the solution to this issue could be one big reputation grinding quest per year that takes a few months to complete, and then maybe every 3 months, one small reputation quest that takes about 2 weeks to complete. And that way we can get the best of both worlds for both types of players. Now, moving on to question number 3, what is the status of development around quests and a storyline? We know that many of our players have been keeping up and playing through the story for years now and want to see what happens next. We're excited too. We do have some upcoming twists in the plot and some old friends returning, including Fripp. Our team is always working on developing content and other fun things to do in the game. We will always be working on it, but it takes many hours of work for multiple people on the team to make just 1 minute of gameplay. We aren't complaining, we love doing it. In recent months, we've had quests with many new characters, such as the Rangers of Redwood Point, the Wild Horse Herds, and Gary Goldtooth. But creating all this takes a lot of time and consideration. Moving forward, we will be sharing more roadmap details regularly, so you know what to expect, much of which is inspired by great feedback and suggestions from our player community. This actually makes me really happy. This sounds so awesome to me. I'm very happy that Star Stable sees the issue and is updating us on where the storyline stands and actually communicating, but not in a very efficient way by putting this article somewhere hidden on the website. But then again, I understand from a business perspective. It's okay, let's get over it. Then we have question number 4. How does Star Stable respond to feedback and suggestions from our player community? We understand that some of our community believe we have not been listening as well lately, and we are sorry to hear that. We are extremely grateful to have such a passionate and engaged player community, which you definitely have, who loves the game so much. Yes, we do. We always want to make sure we are doing our best to communicate with you, but we know we can be doing better. And I'm very happy they recognize this. They know they can be doing better, and I really hope they'll strive to be the best company they can be, because these words may also be just like very nice nice words and they sound very nice, but in the end, nothing is gonna change? I'm not really sure. Like I said, I am having a hard time trusting Star Stable to the fullest extent, and I never really have. I think in general in life, it's very important to be critical and to criticize things you feel are wrong, but this is amazing to hear and I really hope things will change. Every day, we hear amazing suggestions and helpful feedback across our various channels, and we value it immensely. We read every single comment, and our social media team compiles it and passes it along to the game team, who does their best to incorporate what they can. Of course, we can't develop features for all the requests for technical reasons, but we love hearing your thoughts as they inspire us to think about new content and experiences that we can deliver. But we often can and do. Here are just some examples of things that we added to the game based on ideas that came from the community, and I have to laugh here a little bit because the first one is the Western discipline, and really all they added was an updated barrel race, a pole bending race, some other race which I have never seen before, and granted I have ridden Western for over 8 years in the past, so I do know a lot about it, and Western isn't just barrel racing and pole bending. And of course they also updated the Western tack, and I'm very grateful for all those things. I thought the Western tack looked so good, but at the same time I don't feel you can claim that that is the entirety of the Western discipline. It just makes it seem so much bigger than it actually was. Then we have new horse name suggestions, which really I don't think this takes hours to implement into the game. It's not really that big of a deal to me. Then we have much requested horse breeds, and okay, these horse breeds may be much requested. Fine, I'll give it to you. Most of the horse breeds SSO is releasing have been requested by our community for years, but at the same time, we never asked for them to be released month after month after month. And I think that's the issue they're not really seeing here. I remember specifically with the Lusitanos back in the day, I was so extremely excited for those horses because back then, a horse release was seen as quite a rare release. It was a really hyped up release because it didn't happen often. And now that we have monthly horse releases, I feel like horse releases just aren't as big of a deal anymore because they are so regular and we get new horses every month, if you get what I mean. So, you know, maybe releasing less horses might even bring some hype back. I'm not sure, but that's just kind of what I'm getting from this and my personal experience with horse releases. Bitless bridles, which were awesome, and even crafting was added after it came in as a suggestion from our community. Crafting, it was fun for a while. It was fun while it lasted. I'm not really doing it anymore because I'm lazy. And it's just not fun to keep doing the same thing over and over again, which again brings me back to my reputation grinding point. I don't really enjoy the long reputation grinding quests personally, but that's just my opinion. Then we have bitless bridles, and even crafting was added after it came in as a suggestion from our community. We will continue to work behind the scenes on sharing your feedback suggestions so we can fix things that aren't working right and so even more fun things get built. Okay, great. And then lastly, we have a little bit of a paragraph about COVID-19 and what it's like to work during COVID-19. So basically what they're saying is, did you know that we are 170 plus people who work at Star Stable Entertainment? There's a lot of us. We work in many different roles and the company is growing, but it's never easy to run a growing company, and COVID-19 has made communication and collaboration more of a challenge, but we are continuously working to add new and better tools to check in on team health. I do have to give them this, working from home is obviously not the same as working in the office. In the office, they have the tech, they have the computers, and at home, you may not necessarily have that already. But here comes the twist, and again, this is just my opinion, but if Star Stable is making record year after record year, likes in the reviews, why can't they provide their employees with the proper tools at home? In my personal opinion, as a company, you have the responsibility to provide your employees with the proper tools and make sure they are working in a good and productive environment. So personally, if I was to give advice to Star Stable, if they aren't already doing this, I would focus on investing in tools for your employees at home to make game development and producing new content productive and efficient. That's all I'm going to say about this though. Because again, I have no details. I can't really form an opinion on this. I can only give advice from an outsider perspective, so that's what I'm trying to do here. Now this last part is mainly where they address the employee reviews, so I'm going to read this all at once and then I'm going to tell you what I think about this. It's really not that juicy, so don't prepare yourself. We make sure to communicate a lot with each other. In addition to day-to-day conversations, we do regular employee surveys where we ask and get feedback on everything from mental health to career development to current work situation. This helps us understand and address any challenges challenges or worries our employees face in our company. Just like any company, with or without a global pandemic, no matter how great things may be for many, there are employees who do not find this to be the right place for them and choose to find another company. Of course, we are always sad to see people leave, and we do our best to ask and learn what we could have done better so that we can improve. We will emerge as a stronger company and culture once we are able to return back to the office to see our colleagues' smiling faces. Now, before you go running to my comments and say, see, those reviews were invalid, those people's feelings are not invalid because Star Stable is doing the surveys and is trying their best to make the SSO office a good work environment. Those people had an experience that is valid and they can share that online if they want to. Those concerns should be listened to, and according to this article, Star Stable is listening, which I think is a great thing, because reading those reviews, I kind of got a bad feeling about this company as a whole, about the whole entire workplace environment, and reading this, seeing that they're actually trying their best to check in on their employees, whether it be for mental health, career development, or the work situation at that moment, makes me very happy personally. Something I tried to make clear in my previous video as well is that we did not know Star Stable's side of the story, and now that we do, I think this is, for me personally, very much calming. It is very nice to read this and see a positive side to the situation as well. So overall, I'm very happy. Of course, there's still room for improvement. There's still very much room for improvement. And again, I gave some constructive criticism in this video. I talked about the things that I thought were a bit insensitive in this article. And that's basically all I'm going to have to say for this article. Now, lastly, I know this is already a long video, but please listen to this. I do want to make a statement about Star Stable receiving a ton of hate right now, and that is very much a fact. If you go to their comment section, there are a ton of comments from usually younger people, which does not justify the hate, by the way, but I understand why it's young people, because young people usually tend to react more on emotion rather than think before they talk, but it's still not a justification. So if you've ever commented hate on Star Stable's posts, please never do that again. I do not support it whatsoever. The only way to go about this conversation is in a constructive way. That way we can have a healthy conversation about what's going on right now and how Star Stable could satisfy us more as players. And that's literally all I'm going to say. Hate is so unnecessary in this world. We need to have a conversation, not bash each other, okay? And that was everything for today. I really hope this video was a helpful update on the situation. I hope that this was informative and that this at least gave you a little bit of a good feeling, because it sure did for me. If you like this video, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you would like to see more of my content, all you have to do is subscribe down below, as well as turn on those notifications to make sure you'll never miss out on anything I post. And with that being said, I really hope you'll have an amazing rest of your weekend. I love you so, so much, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Bye, guys!